in this clip I'm going to show you how to make the switch device here a little bit more functional. I'm going to set it up so that we can actually create multiple switches, and then switching them on in the right order basically activates the final switch, which then allows us to spin our block here. We're going to modify our existing switch, so rather than just change the one we've got that we know that works, we're just going to duplicate it, and we'll just call it trigger switch 2 is fine, and we're just going to remove our original trigger switch from the level, and we're going to place a new trigger switch here. In fact, we're going to place several of them in a row. So I'm going to place 3 there like that, and I'm going to place the final one back near the block. Now the one that's near the block, I'm going to link up its target actor to be this, and then this switch here I'm going to set its target actor to be the next switch. The middle switch I'm going to set its target actor to be the third switch, and then the third switch I'm going to set its target actor to be that fourth switch that's connected to the moving block. Okay, so we're going to edit the blueprint. I'm going to start just by cleaning some stuff up in here, and also just disabling one of the features. So rather than it stopping working when we press and release the button and walk away from it, I'm just going to change our blueprint so it works in a slightly different way. So I'm going to disconnect the released pin. I'm also going to remove this sequence here. So all this will do now is just close the gate behind it. I'm also just going to tidy things up so they're in the correct order, like so. And I'm also going to remove those there. So we've got a basic gate that goes on and off. So we're just going to check. Just going to check this works. We're missing a condition. We're missing our target actor. It should go here. There we are. So hopefully our trigger should still work. Yeah, and it's just a one-shot trigger now, so once you've pressed it, it starts going, and that's fine. These won't do anything yet. Okay, so trigger switch 2 is a slightly different setup than the one we had before, much simpler layout. Now the first thing we're going to do is add is active variable. This will tell us whether or not our switch is allowed to operate. We're going to make it visible so we can set that from within our viewport if we need to. And also we're going to add a branch on the use event, and so we can only use our trigger if indeed this switch has been activated. Now by default, once we've compiled it, we're not going to be activated, we're going to be switched off essentially. So to enable our switch to to be activated by the subsequent switches, we're going to again use our interface that we created earlier. So hopefully I'll be able to get hold of that interface. Bearing in mind that I've got this bug on my laptop here. There we are. I can select that. You should get a drop down visible. For some reason mine isn't visible there. So you just click add, choose your BP interface that you made earlier on, and then once you've got that, you'll be able to access the event. Called turn on or off. Actually, you may need to compile that first. There we are. There we are. We can now receive the event called turn on or off. So when we receive the message turn on or off, then we're going to set our active state to whatever the interface event told us. We're going to branch, and once we've branched, based upon our active state, if it's true, then we're going to set the material of our sphere to be let's go for the laser pointer material because that's pretty cool. So if we're activated, we're going to have a red kind of glowing orb. If we're off, if we've been turned off, then we are going to set our material to be the black, flat black material there. And also what we'll do if we're turned off is we'll tell our target actor that we want to turn them off as well. So anything after this will be turned off also. Oops, not that one. Make sure you get the right that's the one you want, the message one. Yes, just make sure you choose the correct version of your interface message and it will be turned off. So if we get turned off, then we're going to turn our material to black, and then we're also going to tell whatever our target actor is, which is the thing that you've selected with the eyedropper tool, we'll also tell that to turn off also. We'll also just do a check at the beginning, because we don't know what our active state will be at the very beginning of the level, depending on how things have been set. So we just want to make sure that at the very beginning we call our own function turn on or off as well, and that will be dependent on whatever the active state is. So at the beginning, when this level first plays, it will call our own turn on or off event from here, and it will set itself up according to whatever the initial active state was. One final thing to do is this: while we're activating key press. We're also just going to set our material to be a green colour, just so there's a bit of player feedback as well. So that all compiles properly. Let's see if we can make this work. So our first button needs to be active, it needs to be enabled to be pressed. The others have got their active state set to off. So those are all off. Okay, so we're going to run it. See, the first one is active. It's got a red dot on it. We're going to walk up to it. We're going to press F. Green means it's become activated. It's also triggered the next one in line to become activated. As you can see, we're going through the process. If we come around this side, we'll be able to see what happens in front of us. Next one comes on, and we walk along here, and we go to the next one, and we can turn that as well. So that's pretty cool. Now I'm just wondering whether we could add an ability to turn off switches as well. That would be kind of interesting. So I'll do that in the next clip.